I despise the word art collector. I don't want to say nothing, but these are precious to me. The fans in front of it, and they would never get it. Relates to me collecting all those postcards. Modern masters. I call it Louis quelque chose. That's asymmetrical. That's a little off, like me. I mean, in this room, nothing is. I don't want to say nothing, but this side table is different than that side table. This bed. Most people throw their bed against a wall, which would take away. I don't know if you realize, no furniture is on the wall. Well, I lied, that one is. But it gives me so much more wall space that the chest of drawers smack dab in the middle of the room, and this bed is in the middle of the room, but it faces the fantastic view. I don't know if you're catching the view, but I have the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building and the United Nations. And then it also relates to art history, sort of art about art, because it looks at, I call it Louis quelque chose because I'm not exactly on target about that. Louis XIV furniture often had these legs that were lion's paws, and so that's an abstracted version. And you see everything is crooked, which I wanted. And I mean, it's almost like museum-like in here. And each drawer is a different size. What I like to do is have the artists who are in my collection, or even if they're not in my collection, to come see me as curator, to see how their work fits into my collection. And I really have fun. I feel like sort of a male Gertrude Stein. I have these salons. I have a list of people who want to come over. I'm already on my second guest book, which I'm going to make you guys sign my guest book. And I have 8 people. I don't have some crazy open house where there's 50 people I don't even know. It's carefully selected people, and they have to be interested in art. And they have to ask me if they want to bring, they can bring their husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend. I say just as long as they have an interest in art, because we're not going to be talking about baseball. And then I give my tour, and everyone starts talking, and they become lifelong friends, some of them, and then we sit down and have a buffet dinner. So it's like a salon. I do that probably like every 6 weeks. This is a great painting without paint example. I discovered this artist at Saatchi Gallery, and DJ Simpson was in it. What he does, there's no paintbrush. He has electric router on. This is a piece of like Formica. And I just think it's fantastic. This makes me think of the storage warehouse. They had the big fire, Montmartre, and many pieces of DJs got burnt, got destroyed. I don't often even care if they work together because I bought them with my heart and my eyes, not my ears. Anything's going to work together because I bought it with such love. It's like, all your children can be different, but if they all sit down at the dinner table, they're all going to work. But this is Sam Ravelis. It sort of looks like Joan Mitchell meets Cy Twombly, but I think these pieces play nicely with each other. I don't really care if someone's famous because I think they're all great. As a matter of fact, when something gets too valuable, it gets me nervous. But here we go with Lucas Samaras. These are gems in my collection. I mean, talking about famous. And they're Polaroid photo transformations that were done in the 70s, like 77 and 79. It's sort of early performance art where he was usually naked in his kitchen or his bathroom. And he took these pictures with a Polaroid camera, and then it took a long time for them to emulse. So while they were emulsing or developing, I'm not sure what the word is, he would squish them or take a paper clip. And this is actually my painting without paint. He actually is making a painting out of the Polaroids. This looks like an Ascension, and this looks like he's changing himself into a woman. So those are gems in my collection. This one's a prime example of dysfunctional family. This is Karen Yasinski. I think this is really hysterical in that it looks very childlike and unsophisticated, but I think it's compositionally very sophisticated. And what's really funny is you got the mother and the daughter holding up the father, and it looks like the only sane living being in the family is the dog. He's nice and calm. I've never moved this. I love this piece. And then again, I was talking about feminism. This is Amy Elkins. She's a young artist. She's only had one person show at Yancey Richardson Gallery in New York. What she does, normally a male artist has a woman take their clothes off. We always see female nudes. So this artist invites young gentlemen into her apartment and has them take off their shirt. I don't think they're naked. And then she makes these feminine backdrops for them to stand in front of. So it's like the table's turned. I have two pieces by this artist. She lives in Toronto. Her name is Sasha Pierce. And again, this process, I don't know what theme you call this. It's just fantastic. And to me, it's not some gimmick. I like to divide when something's a gimmick. But this artist puts the paint in these little bags and squeezes out little drops of paint, and it looks like a piece of fabric. It's crazy intense, labor-intense work. What I would really like in my collection is Modigliani and Chaim Soutine. I have a Dubuffet print, but I'm crazy about Modigliani. Well, and I very much understand what Larry's doing. He buys postcards in museums, just like I did when I was a little kid, when I was in college, and he bonds with them by chewing the postcard, exchanging his DNA with Modigliani. So this is a chewed Modigliani. And I think it's hysterically funny, serious, sad, art about art. I love finding an artist I never heard of, and a dealer I never heard of. I always find that funny is people make a beeline to some dealer they already know. Like I have no loyalties to anybody. I'm open. I'm a very progressive person. Like a restaurant. I go to a restaurant and say this is fantastic, but I'll never go again. I like progressing on. I think that's good for my personal growth. I like to think of myself as I despise the word art collector. It just sounds that's anybody with a wallet. I correct people constantly. If you recall what's on the back of my business card, it says art lover. And I correct people all the time.